Alright guys, so when you're doing a bike build, it's not enough just to make the bike look good. You want it to run as good as it looks. And with a 1980 bike, yeah, there's some things you got to do to the motor. Right now I want to pull all these bowls off the carburetor and change the jetting. The reason for that is we're going to these pod style air filters, which means the motor is going to get a whole bunch more air. So we got to go to bigger main jets on this. You know, I also want to take a look inside here. And then I've already got these new boots that go on this side. The pod filters will go on this side here. Let's get to it. Don't forget, if you want this bike, go over to Patreon, sign up to win it. If you support the build series for as little as $1 a video, you'll qualify to win the bike and the speed and strength gear. Yeah, I think I'm going to use some solution in here to get this a bit cleaner. It's not looking so pretty. What we want to do here, let me get a close-up of this, is these are the flow bolts here. And what we want to do is we want to pull this off in the main jet. Alright, what I actually have is this sharp poker tool. There's a little pin in here. You just want to push that through, slide that out, and then the float bolt comes right off. Now this one here has this extra piece here, which, I don't know, some sort of diaphragm. So I'm going to pull this cap off right here. There might even be something in here I want to rebuild. Come on, baby. Okay, it's got a little spring and some sort of a, looks like a diaphragm or something. Look at the, good thing we pulled this apart, look at that. And it's got some particles in here too. Here we go. That's that one. Another thing I like to do when I'm working on bikes is I like to put the bolts in small pieces in their own Ziploc bag and mark them if I need to remember what it was. So anyways, I have all these little screws laying around and it's very easy for them to get lost. So, and then even these little parts here can all go in there because I'll remember where they go. So, okay, so I got the bowls really clean inside. Just spraying them with carb cleaner. Got these gasket surfaces all cleaned up. These rubber gaskets were in really bad shape and there's a lot of gunk in here. How these things weren't leaking when I bought the bike is beyond me. But these are all good to go. I bought a 4-pack of these rebuild kits. It's got all these little components in it. We'll go through that as we put them in the carburetor. I bought this on eBay for 36 bucks. I'll put a link in the video description. And then we have a set of main jets here. What I'm going with is a 120 main jet. I believe the stock is like a 90. So this 120 is going to give us more fuel from about quarter throttle to wide open throttle. We're not going to change the slow jet or the pilot jet in this because I read with the pod filters you don't need it, but we'll try that. I'm going to clean this up a little bit here. We do have one problem, which I'm really bummed about, is you can see this thing here, goes in here, is in really bad shape. I mean, it's just got rust and it's just, the rubber's not so good. I mean, I could try to clean it up and reuse it, but I don't trust the rubber. I had ordered a new one, but it's just, this part here doesn't even have the stem, so I'll have to get another one of those. Okay, so right here in the middle, this is the main jet, so we're going to replace those first. Real simple, easy to get at. Got the nice new 120 here. Just screws right in the end of this. What did I just lose? So just do this to all 4 carburetors. Alright, so the next thing we're going to install is the needle valve. And this is the original float bowl here. So this just slides onto this little piece right here. And then this just drops into this hole right here. And then you just slide the pin through. And now you got your float bowls. Okay, so we're not going to do a deep dive into this rebuild. We're just going to rebuild the basic components. We did the jets. Now we're just going to put new rubber O-rings in the bowls here, and then just put them back on the carb here. Another thing you need to be aware of is these bowls are numbered with the carburetors. The carburetor has a number right here. It starts on the left-hand side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you want to check on your flow bowl. There's a number right here. This is number 1, and so on. So I've got the gasket on there, and what I'm going to do so the gasket doesn't fall out by me tipping this over is I'm going to flip the carburetors over and slide this up into the carb. So we'll just do this number. There we go. Just going to hold that there till you get your screws in. So, and then we just go number 2, 3, and 4. Okay, the next thing I'm going to check is how far out each of these air screws is. Each carburetor has its own air screw. The way you check is just you take it and you screw it in and you count each half turn. And let's see what we have. There's a half, so there's 1 turn, 1.5, 2. Okay, so that's 2. I want this to be out 2 1/8 turns to start. So let's go half, 1, half, 2. That's a quarter. That's an 1/8. So let's check the next one. So then let's just take it in. We go, look at that. That was only half a turn. Now that may have happened when these were getting tuned in. So, but we want them all to be the same for now. So let's go 1, 2, 1/8. Another thing I'm doing here is I'm replacing the rubber boots that attach the carbs to the motor. This is how stiff these are. You can see the new ones are way more pliable. So what I'm doing now is I'm just swapping the clamps over from the old ones to the new ones. So just take that off there. Okay, them both going the same way. Just snug it down a little bit to kind of hold it in place. Yeah, let's just do that to all 4. Wow, these old boots are really in bad shape. What I want to do too is I want to make sure that the 2 boots on one side are the screws are facing outward, and the 2 boots on the other side are facing outward too. So 2 of them will be facing like this, and the other 2 will be facing the opposite direction. So you want to make sure you figure that out before you put these on the bike. Okay, so now I'm going to install these rubber boots with the screws facing outward. This one will go here. This one goes here. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put these covers back on, and they go right on here like this. We have new gaskets for them, and the only thing is we're going to make sure this one here gets a screw with this little piece on it here, because there's a hose on this fitting down here that comes up and goes through this hole. It'll be on here, and then there'll be one over here. So let's just screw these on. Oh, that's just great. Check this out. See how the old holes are kind of offset? Look how those holes are in line. This is not the first, look at it. So it's not going to match up to this cover right here. You know, this kit was ordered for this exact year bike, and these parts not fitting are really getting frustrating because there's other things in the rebuild kits that were different, that weren't the same as this bike, and now these stupid gaskets are different. So I don't know if I really trust the old gaskets. I mean, they don't feel that great. So I really can't put these on right now because I don't have the correct gaskets, and that's just really frustrating. I have also discovered another problem here. This is the choke arm here. That's with the choke on. You know, it chokes off the air so it gets more fuel to help it start when it's cold. So you've only got about less than a ½ inch clearance right here between this edge and the carburetor here. Well, these aftermarket carbs are pretty thick right here, and when I put this on the carb, I don't know if you can see that, but this right here, wow, it actually clears. It just barely clears, but it might work. Even once I put the hose clamp on there, it might work. It was hitting pretty bad before, so we may have dodged that bullet. Okay, so check this out. I don't have time to screw around and try to get more gaskets that are actually the right ones. So what I did was I laid one of these on top of each gasket, marked it with a little black dot with a Sharpie, and I'm just going to drill each one. It's not that critical, it's just a clearance hole. So, easy fix. Here we go. So bring your A game, 'cause you know this party won't stop. We could never run out of time, sipping strawberry lime. You know I wanna share it with you. Places going boom boom. If you're looking for some clothes, I'll tell you everybody's you see on this screw here, I added the hose holder device there. All right, and then we'll just do that to all four. Okay, I just wanted to put the air cleaners on, give you guys a good look at what the finished product will look like. A couple issues. There was that diaphragm on the bottom that I need to get a new one, and these will come off really easy. And then there's a problem with these pods are so thick that I'm having some clearance problems with my choke device here. That's a real pain in the butt problem. Looks pretty sweet. Back up a little bit and give you guys a view. So now the motor's starting to look more filled in now, looking like a real bike. Okay, that's as far as I can take the bike today. Don't forget, if you want this bike, go over to Patreon, sign up to win it. If you support the build series for as little as $1 a video, you'll qualify to win the bike and the speed and strength gear. See you next episode.